Leaks and rumors have taken over the gaming news in today's world. It's gotten so bad with leaks that when we finally get a big, new, exciting announcement, instead of being ecstatic and hyped, we all sit around and say, hey, they finally announced this. And what do you know? What has surfaced? Another leak involving mid-generation console refreshes for the Xbox and PlayStation platform. But before we take a look at this latest rumor, I would like to take a moment and welcome anyone new to the channel. If you are new and do happen to enjoy the video, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button if you do enjoy what you see. Also, feel free to leave a comment down below. I always enjoy hearing your guys' thoughts on these matters. But without further ado, we got a lot to get into, so let's get into it. So Tez2 has made a post stating that most AAA developers have already received dev kits for the upgraded versions of the PS5 and the new Xbox Series X, or whatever they're gonna call it. So for those that don't know, Tez2 is a supposed insider, and they've leaked a lot of information from Rockstar Games concerning GTA Online, GTA 6, and what have you. And from what I understand, most of their predictions have been pretty spot on, especially when it comes to GTA Online. So they have built a reputation of actually having inside knowledge or either being very good at predictions, and that's why kind of this tweet carries more water than just a typical person on Reddit or on any forums just saying, oh hey, next gen upgrades are coming. So that's why people are kind of looking at this post and taking it a little bit more seriously. Now I also want to take a very brief moment to say, yes, I have seen the image of the slide from TCL Technologies stating that in 2023-2024 they're expecting a PlayStation 5 Pro or an Xbox Series S whatever to come out. I want to take a moment. I don't think this is a leak. I don't even think if these are real, those dates are accurate at all. I just want to point out that I think the company was speculating on what the future may hold and timelines because they know, like, hey, consoles, most gamers buy the console, the first thing they want to do is get a new TV so they could show off the new features of the console. So I think that was just pure speculation. I wouldn't get too excited. I wouldn't take that as like confirmation. I could be wrong. That's kind of where I stand on that. So I have seen it, but I wouldn't let that be the end all be all for this situation. Okay, so now that we got that stuff out of the way, I want to discuss what this could mean for us. So I know this might be exciting news for some, but there are some issues I actually have with this. First, I would like to point out a lot of people still are having a hard time finding a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X console. Yes, they are getting much easier than compared to when they first launched, but you can't just walk into a store and buy one of these consoles without some hassle. Secondly, what are these Pro versions of the consoles gonna cost? The PlayStation 5, Sony just jacked the price of it up recently. I think it's like, what, $550 now? The Xbox Series X is $500, so the Pro version's gonna be like $700-800. At that price point, you're entering an area where you're actually starting to be directly compared to the PC market. You're no longer just in that nice little console market. Like, that's a premium price, and people are gonna be like, hey, like, if it's $800, 200 more, you could buy a pretty nice gaming rig for $1,000. Secondly is the games. So far this gen, almost every game has been a cross-generation title, including games from the first-party studios from both Microsoft and Sony. God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Forbidden West, Halo, Forza Horizon 5 have all been cross-gen, and it's not just first party. Look at the big third-party games. Modern Warfare 2, Hogwarts Legacy, and even Resident Evil 4 Remake that's been announced is coming out for the PS4. Now don't get me wrong, I know games are super expensive to make, and I know that these companies are trying to ship their games to as many platforms and have as many players have access to them as possible. And like I said before, finding a next generation console has not been the easiest. That being said, I would like to see what these consoles could do with truly next generation games before we even have the discussion of a pro version of these consoles. I know the generation has started about 2 years ago, but it honestly feels like it hasn't even really begun yet. I really feel like the PlayStation 5 feels like a super beefy PS4, and the Xbox Series X just feels like an Xbox One X that's like gone Super Saiyan. They don't feel like they're in the next generation yet, and I think part of the reason is we have so many cross-gen games. Now, I do want to point out that if this is true, this is just pure speculation at this point. But if these dev kits are out there, hopefully it's more realistic. At least I think it's more realistic that we'll see more about this in 3 to 4 years, which would be 2024 or 2025, 2026 kind of time frame. If that is the case, and by that time we've had several years where we're getting next-gen games, the consoles are easily more available in stores, then I wouldn't feel so bad that we get pro versions of the console. I would just hate, because I have a next generation console, I don't want to feel like I bought this thing just to turn around when I'm finally getting truly next-gen games, the pro version is out. I don't want the console market to feel like the mobile market where every time you turn around, new hardware is coming out and being announced. That's not what I want for the console market. I know I'm just one person. I'm kind of assuming most people feel the same way. I could be completely wrong about that, but that's kind of where I stand on the matter. I will say I would rather see Sony and Microsoft work more on the software side of things for these consoles than the hardware at the moment. I have a Steam Deck and be able to go into the options and change the brightness. I can lock the frames at 30, 60, what have you, to get better performance and all this stuff. That would be kind of cool if the console started offering that, where you could just go into the console settings and turn off ray tracing, turn off all these features. That way we don't have to rely on the developers doing it for us. Games have come out and they're locked at 30 frames when I don't even see a reason why. If we're gonna enter the market where we're gonna get pro versions and new hardware, it almost feels like the consoles are sort of like mini locked in PCs at this point. And if they're gonna go that way, at least give us some of the benefits of PC gaming on the actual console. That's what I would kind of like to see. I'm probably in the minority on that one, but I think that'd be super cool. The other thing, if these things are real, for the love of God, have an easy, affordable way to expand our storage. I'm sorry, but an 800 gig hard drive is not big enough. Call of Duty could take up to 500 gigs. That would be over half your hard drive for one game. And I'm not talking about super expensive expansion card slots, Microsoft. I'm talking about there's no reason these consoles cannot have a slot for SD or micro SD cards built into them. The Steam Deck has it, the Nintendo Switch has it. It's time for PlayStation and Xbox to have them as well. All right, guys, that's all I really got to say on this topic. These are just rumors. This is just pure speculation. All this could be totally untrue. So I guess we'll find out together in the future. But I got a lot of work to do, so I'm going to get back to the grind and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.